Testing.
Beautiful.
Really testing.
Good. Everything sound all right, New Year's?
Yeah.
Let me know if you want more or less.
You sound good in my ears.
Okay. You sound good in mine. We can do a show.
Well, let's, shall we?
30
We'll do a
seconds.
show.
30 seconds away. 30 seconds away.
We can do a show.
Destroyed by the summer monsoons. Trees need to be properly trimmed and fertilized. Valley Nursery's arborists have the knowledge and experience to properly maintain or remove any size trees. Call
Man,
Moon
this
Valley
crowd.
Nursery's
This
tree
is a
care
nice crowd.
specialist today
Awesome.
for a free
Nice
on-site
crowd.
Sean, is
analysis
this
and
the biggest
$50 off.
crowd?
Call
It's one of them.
602-814-0355
Especially for the first
or
week.
text
Yeah.
tree to
On
64620
Yeah,
for the
exactly.
$50 coupon.
Being that's the
$50
wrong
off
day.
the Methadone tree service. Call or text for details.
Stand
All
by.
right, gentlemen, here we go. Let's have a good one.
This is where Arizona connects with the worldwide leader in sports. ESPN 620.
I'm on the train.
You're listening to All Aboard, presented by Coors Light. Live from the Lodge Sasquatch Kitchen in Tempe with Sun Devil head football coach Herm Edwards. Now alongside Coach Edwards, the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy.
2019 marks the 150th anniversary of the great game of college football and year 2 of the Herm Edwards era of Arizona State football. For the Sun Devils, both begin exactly 48 hours from now when ASU takes the field Thursday night to host the Kent State Golden Flashes in their 2019 season opener. And an historic opener it will be, as for the first time in program history, the Sun Devils will open a season with a true freshman starting at the quarterback position. We invite you to join us for the next hour as we break down the 2019 Sun Devils and talk ASU and college football here on All Aboard with Herm Edwards, presented by Coors Light. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our inaugural show of the 2019 season. Alongside of second-year Arizona State head football coach Herm Edwards, I'm Tim Healy, about to begin my 22nd season as the radio play-by-play voice of Sun Devil football, and delighted to be your host for our weekly radio get-togethers. Once again, in 2019, our home for the weekly Herm Edwards show is the Lodge Sasquatch Kitchen. Visit the Lodge Sasquatch Kitchen on First and Farmer in Tempe every week during the ASU season for All Aboard with Coach Herm, and stay for great food and ice-cold beverages. We have special guests each week on our show, and some good ones to get things started this evening. Second-year Sun Devil defensive coordinator Danny Gonzalez will join us a bit later on, as will the two newly elected co-captains of that Sun Devil defense, sophomore linebacker Darian Butler and senior cornerback Kobe Williams. And one last item of interest to you, and this is very interesting. New this season, we will be airing All Aboard, presented by Coors Light, on Facebook Live. For fans who can't join us here at the Lodge, you can check out the live stream of the show on the Sun Devil Football Facebook page. As in past years, our show is formatted like a football game in quarters, so here now is the first quarter of tonight's show.
Welcome to All Aboard, presented by Coors Light. First quarter.
And time now to welcome in my co-host, second-year Arizona State head football coach Herm Edwards. Herm, great to see you.
Good to be here. Look at these fans.
I think this is a Pac-12 record crowd
well,
here
this is
tonight.
Pac-12 record crowd, first show, and the reason they're here,
Yes.
we have two special guests here. Yes.
Besides the ones I've already told you.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like they're the big time.
Okay.
Buffy Anderson and Ray Anderson.
Yes, they are.
And that's what brought all the crowd in here.
Yep.
They knew the AD and his beautiful wife were coming to the show. They said, well, let's go over to the show and see Ray and Buffy.
Yep.
So that's a good thing.
These are all the same people that listen to Ray's and my weekly Saturday morning radio
He
program.
told me 33 shows. I'm going to start listening at 7:30 in the morning on Saturday.
The highest rated athletic director show in North America.
I'm going to start listening.
And we're number one in Guatemala too, from what I hear. But anyway, how would you describe year one of the Herm? I've used the term uplifting from the standpoint that I really think your team lifted the hopes and the spirits of Sun Devil fans last year. You were picked last in the Pac-12 South. You finished second. You won 7 games and came so close to winning a bunch more. We had great individual performances, some memorable close victories. What were your main takeaways from a year ago?
I think my main takeaway was the players and the coaching staff that we hired allowing me to win their trust. When you become a head coach, people respect the title, but you got to earn the trust of the players and the coaches. And I asked them that. I said, hey, all I want to do is earn your trust. Just let me just earn it, and I got to do it every day. And I think as the season got going, that trust was a part of it. I think I love the way our players played consistent. They were a consistent football team. We didn't win them all, but we had opportunities to win games, and that's what you want to do. Put yourself in a position where you can win a game, and when you do that, you have this sense of it's on the players now. That's all a coach can do. Put them in position to win, and then the players are going to have to make a play or two. Now, you're going to have to help them with a situation, you make a decision here or there. But at the end, that's how players want to do it. They want to be put in position so they say, you know what? Okay, I got to go make this play right now. If I do that, we'll have a chance to win. And the one that haunts you is the Oregon game.
Yeah.
That's the one that haunts you. I mean, we had to go 5-0 down the stretch. We knew exactly what we were headed into. And I told the players, I said, we control our destiny, but we got to win out. And they all understood it. And you get the ball on the minus, 35-yard line or whatever it was, and you feel like, just go down there and kick field goal. It's done. You win by a point.
And that's even with the questionable call on the Frank Darby 2-point conversion that would have tied that ball game.
Yeah, and, still at the end, you had a chance to win. And that's all you can ask. And that's a great effort by the coaching staff and the players. They get all the credit.
Yeah.
They do, because they did all the work. I just kind of tell them kind of what to do a little bit. And now we got Marvin, and they got Marvin telling them what to do, and I'm telling them we got so many head coaches now. We got Danny Gonzalez as a head coach. We got Marvin Lewis. We got 3 head coaches.
And by the way, you have a Pro Football Hall of Famer on staff too.
We got that guy
hurt.
too. Yeah, he wears his yellow jacket every once in a while, in the office. It's good.
Is he going to get that dry cleaned at some point, or is he just going to keep wearing it everywhere?
Kevin, he breaks it out every once in a while. It's good.
I'd sleep in it if I were him, man.
That was a heck of an evening. It really was to watch him get inducted. And 2 other players that I actually coached were Ty Law and Tony Gonzalez. So I had 3 going in.
That's awesome.
I've had a few. I've had about 5 or 6 now that have gone into the Hall of Fame.
That is awesome. Fun. Well, no question, you set a great foundation in 2018. So now we turn the page. 2019 is upon us, and clearly the most talked about storyline in this preseason is certainly a compelling one. The evolution of a true freshman starting quarterback on opening night at Arizona State. And I've heard you use the word special in describing Jaden Daniels since February, and now it is Jaden's time. Tell us what, in your opinion, makes him special, because I know you have high hopes for him this year.
I do. I want to say this right up front. He's not the Messiah.
Right.
He can't do it by himself. It's going to take a whole team to do it. And the players understand that. But I like his calmness. There's something about that when you're a calm quarterback. He collects his thoughts. He processes information fairly well. But I like his demeanor. Especially when the game goes.
Yeah.
To me, demeanor is everything in a football contest, because it's chaos.
I think, with all respect, I think that's one of your strengths as a coach on the sideline.
Well, I would hope so. I mean, and it's funny because when you played the game, and I can go back to my era of playing, 4 seconds is about a play, and you got to have this mindset, and then you kind of go back to thinking again what's going to take place. And so I learned to play football that way. You play a little bit, just you get to this level and you play, and then you got to think about what's going to happen. You got to be able to process information, especially quarterbacks. And Jaden can do that. Very accurate. He'll take a profit. The quarterbacks that take a profit, they move the ball. And when someone's covered, he'll throw it to the back. He'll take 5 yards, and that's hard for quarterbacks, because quarterbacks want to get on. They want to get on highlights. They want to get on television, throw touchdowns.
Right.
And if you continue to take a profit, you move the ball, and you have a chance to score. And he's willing to do that. Now, I say that he hadn't come in that stadium yet.
Walk by that Pat Tillman statue.
Walk in that stadium the first night, and you talk about him, but it's kind of funny. There's 30 more of them that are walking that stadium have never played college football.
Oh, man.
And there's 19 freshmen. And then there's another 12 redshirt freshmen. So it's a young football team, but that was the vision of trying to build a program. And that's what we're going to do, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. I'd had a great conversation with Rob Likens, your offensive coordinator. We're going to have a feature on Rob on our pregame show on Thursday night. He did all the talking, trust me. But he had some great things to say. And one of my favorites was he said, you know what? The bottom line with Jaden is if he gets up to the line of scrimmage, even if it's 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 10, if he doesn't like what he's seeing, he can always check down to a running play. And you can hand it off to the best running back in the Pac-12 running behind a senior-laden offensive line.
No, you're right. And that was the whole focus last year of establishing a running game and the mentality that we could run the ball because we knew going into this season we were going to have a young person playing quarterback with not a lot of experience. So that was already the thought when I took the job. I said, look, we got to run the ball.
Right.
I said, because next year this thing's going to get flipped and we're not going to have Manny Wilkins. He's not going to be the quarterback anymore. We're going to have to go with a young guy. And so you got to think ahead. You know, as a coach, you always think, you know, fans always want this season to come. We get that. But you got to think ahead when you're trying to build something. And for me, I think when you can run the ball is a common effect for you. When you feel like I can control the line of scrimmage, then that means I control the game. When I can control the line of scrimmage and I can run the ball, and you have a runner like Eno, you know, it's like, okay, well, I can play any way I want to play right now. I can go fast. I can go slow.
It's the imposition of your will upon your opponent.
Yeah, football is about this. Here's two guys competing.
And by the way, for our
we got water.
For our true radio crowd, Herm is dealing Dasani bottles
here. This is player A, this is player B, and this is what happens. It goes boom. And who do you knock off your spot?
Right.
That's what it's about. And you do that for about 70 plays. You just knock each other off your spot, and the guy that knocks his guy off the spot the most, he wins.
Yep. You can tell this guy's been doing TV
I've
before.
Done television
He's playing to the Facebook crowd already, ladies and gentlemen. Well done,
in Bristol right now, they'd be going, Coach, you really go. You're doing it right now, Coach.
There you go. Boy, Eno Benjamin, what a year he had last year. The greatest single-season rushing total in Arizona State history, 1,642 yards, 5th best in the nation. And as you look for even bigger things from him this year, the two things I've heard most, he was your 3rd leading receiver a year ago, but I think you're hoping he'll even be more of a threat in the passing game. And Rob talked to me about Eno becoming a more vocal leader, and he thinks he's done a really good job of that.
Yeah, him and Cole are the two of the offensive captains. And told him after the season was ended, I said, look, you got to be a complete back. You have to catch more than 30 balls. I'm looking at 50. Because what's going to happen is this. Look, the first series, they're going to have 20 guys in the box. They're not going to let us run the ball. They're going to say, you're not running the ball. This guy ain't beating us. They're going to say, we don't want the quarterback to beat us, right? And so with that being said, you have to have a back that can get out of the backfield and get some matchups against linebackers and get him the ball. And Eno can do that.
He is one of the shiftiest, most elusive backs. I think the stat was last year 94 missed tackles that he forced, which was one of the highest totals in the country in the FBS.
Yeah, he's very good at with his vision coming out of the backfield and his ability to break the first tackle. And that's what good backs do. He has great balance, has great balance and runs with good leverage, but has really great vision. That's how he breaks tackles.
Your offensive line, last year, Cole Cabral was a second-team All-Pac-12 center. This year, right at the start of training camp, you have to move him back out to the position he played 2 years ago, left tackle. How do you feel your reconfigured offensive line has come along through camp? Still a veteran-laden unit.
It is. Some have played a little bit more than others, but it's they've had some experience, and that's good. And Cole is kind of the anchor. He's the guy that is up for all the awards, and it says something about him when it comes to team. He was going to play center. He was up for a lot of awards, national awards at center, and we needed him to play tackle. And he played tackle, obviously, prior to arriving here.
And played well.
And so we had to move back to tackle. And so that says a lot about him, that, hey, Coach, I'll do whatever I have to do to help the team win.
Yeah, no question about it. You lose a great receiver in N'Keal Harry, but the cupboard is not bare in terms of pass catchers. I think Brandon Ayuk came along strong at the end of last year. He had a couple of 100-yard receiving games. I think he's poised to have a big year this year. Frank Darby averaged 20 yards per reception a year ago. And Kyle Williams looks bigger and stronger and faster, and he's caught 110 balls over the last 2 years.
Yeah, those are the three guys with the experience, and then Curley, a freshman that the fans will start.
He's really come along, hasn't
he? He's good football.
Jordan Curley.
They're going to like him, too.
Remember him, number 8 from Austin, Texas.
Number 8. And then we got a big old tight end. Nolan Matthews. He's a freshman. He's going to play too. So we got a bunch of them playing now. It'll be fun.
But that has become, I think, one of the, the calling cards or mantras of your program. If you can play, you will play at Arizona State.
Yeah, and it has to be competitive. And I think the players have bought into that. They know it's very, very competitive. And you have to compete every day. And that's life.
Yeah.
You know, look, football teaches life skills. This university is all about this. The student athlete, they want a rounded student athlete. And I always say student athlete first because they are students.
Yep.
And how do you prepare them when they leave this university? As athletes and as students. And when you think about it, you know, it's about competition. In the real world, when they leave this university with a degree, it's competition in the marketplace. And whether you're a football player, football coach, whatever you do in life, there's competition. So we try to create that every day.
And when Kyle Williams is doing my knee surgery in 10 years, then I think we'll have a classic example of that, won't we?
Yeah, you're exactly right. He's a bright guy, and he's excited about this season as well. You know, he's done a lot. I talked to him today. He's excited. The players they're ready to play. I mean, they've practiced against each other for so long.
Yep.
They want to go play football.
We're going to get the complete scouting report on your defense from Danny Gonzalez later in the show. But how about a quick thought on your defense? You've got some emerging talent coming on in the back end of your defense.
We do. A lot of athletes that can run. And we have some length. We just got to all put it together because there's so many guys. There's so many young guys, and there's some veteran guys. Rashari's coming back, obviously. Chase is coming back. Kobe's another guy. But the rest of them are all young, pretty young freshman guys and of that nature. But very talented. We got to find a rotation how we play all these guys, kind of what we become. You know, I think when in the NFL, there's preseason games. So
not in college.
Not college football. No, there's no preseason games.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of figure things out on as you're playing. And I think as we get into this season, we'll evolve to whatever we can do well on both sides of the ball. That's always the coach's plan. You know, after you've played a couple games, you figure out what you do well and you just do that. And don't make it too complicated for the players.
And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch them develop. Even a devil needs time to chill. 21 means 21. Celebrate responsibly with Coors Light. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Lots more headed your way tonight on our first installment of All Aboard with Herm Edwards, presented by Coors Light. Coming up, you'll meet the Sun Devils' defensive co-captains for the 2019 season as linebacker Darian Butler and cornerback Kobe Williams will join us. But first, let's take a timeout on the Sun Devil Radio Network, presented by Gila River Hotels and Casinos.
Hey, this is Jared Allen. I want to invite you to come meet my former head coach, Herm Edwards, at the Lodge Sasquatch Kitchen every Thursday night when he hosts his radio show, All Aboard. Come check out the comfort of my Midwest Lodge right in the middle of downtown Tempe. With huge patio and game room and plenty of TVs around to watch all your favorite sports teams, you'll have a great time. Our award-winning food is awesome, and there are always drink specials for everyone. So come check us out for lunch, happy hour, dinner, or even those late nights.
All right, folks, good to see all of you. I think this is the largest crowd in the history of ASU football coaches shows. And, yes, indeed. And if you never have been here, shame on you, but welcome. And one of the features during commercials, we do a raffle. And I'm about to pick a winner who will get 2 tickets to the Kent State. No, Mike, you can't have it. 2 tickets to the Kent State game 2 days from now. Sparky, really? All right. Okay, Jesse, I think, Jesus. And the last name is Celaye, Celaye, I think. If I butchered it, I am so sorry, Jesus, but you're going to the football game. You got 2 tickets. Congratulations. And welcome to the show.
On Pac-12 Now, where you can access live events, just a moonshot, and original programming on demand, with the ability to customize the teams you want to follow and the content you want to see, wherever you are and whenever you want it. All the teams and all the access, all with Pac-12 Now.
So let's get a check of those microphones, though, if you don't mind. Just count to 10.
Check. Share a code.
Kobe, sounding good.
So I'm going to tell you how with a little help.
A little bit more.
Talk to Eric.
Check. You
Yeah.
can share a Coke when your team's up.
Yeah, so when we're on there,
You can
just
share a Coke
speak
when
as
your
loud
team's
as you
down.
can.
I'll try to do the
You
trick
even
about
share a code
identifying
with
the
your
player
rival
I'm
on
asking the
Yeah,
question.
with this many microphones
Or
open,
you
if we
can
don't
share a
speak
Coke
up
when
and the
you're giving
speakers
out
on,
your
we get a
famous
little
guacamole
feedback.
recipe in a completely packed stadium.
Cilantro, chopped onion, squeeze a lime, Robert tomato, pike,
Share a Coke with a fan this season.
ice cold, delicious.
Nothing should keep you from enjoying the things you love.
All right.
This crowd is amazing.
Not even surgery. At Dignity Health, our expert surgeons work with advanced
How far
robotic
out, Cody? About 30?
technology to perform even the most difficult
There's one more 30-second after this spot.
recovery,
Word.
less exposure to pain medications, so you can get back to all those things that you love to do sooner. Even when you're not so good at them.
Sean
Learn
cracks me
more
up.
at dignityhealth.org/azrobotics. Right now, I'm holding a perfectly ice-cold Coors Light. You know how I know it's the perfect temperature? Because the mountain on the can is blue. And also, it's really cold. Every Coors Light is cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged. Notice how many times I said cold?
Were you filming,
3
Kobe?
times. It's
I got you in it too.
10
Oh,
seconds.
man.
on your can of
All right, guys, here we go.
I was
Remember,
twiddling my
keep that
thumbs.
mic right in front and talk up. We'll be good to go. Bring it back in 5 seconds.
Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Let's start the second quarter of All Aboard. Presented by Coors Light.
Say, folks, on game day, leave the driving to Lyft, proud partner of Sun Devil Athletics. Download the Lyft app and enter the code SUNDEVILS for $5 off your first 4 rides. Welcome back to All Aboard with Herm Edwards, presented by Coors Light, our weekly ASU football coaches show that comes your way live each week from the Lodge Sasquatch Kitchen at First and Farmer in Tempe. Great food, great beverages, plenty of TV screens, just about every game you'd want to see. Right now, some baseball, some football tape delays or tape games from a year ago. All kinds of sports showing here on the tubes, plus a whole bunch, and I do mean a whole bunch of Sun Devil fans on this Tuesday night. Make this terrific place yours to be on Tuesdays for the next month or so. I'm Tim Healy, the radio play-by-play voice of the Sun Devils, and your host tonight. Glad you joined us. Now it's time to introduce our 2 player guests this evening, a pair of young men who are among the 5 ASU players named team captains for the 2019 season. These fellas are the 2 defensive captains for 2019. One is a senior defensive back from Long Beach, California, who on Thursday night will make his 27th consecutive start in the ASU secondary. Please welcome to the show cornerback Kobe Williams. Kobe, great to see you, dude.
Great to see you, too.
This is your second straight gig like this. You were one of my guests at the Tempe Chamber of Commerce kickoff luncheon the other day. You killed it, by the way. How'd you like being up there in front of all those people? I think there were 500 people watching you, man.
It was great just being around so many people that care so much about the program. And it was just giving their insight about the season we about to have and the big game Thursday.
And that's what we're going to do here. And there's a whole bunch of people here who care about the program and show up every Tuesday or Thursday night to watch our show. Great to have you with us, Kobe. Joining Kobe tonight is a young man who, as a true freshman last year, started all 13 games at linebacker. He was the Sun Devils' 3rd leading tackler on the season, and he was the 4th leading tackler of all FBS true freshmen in the nation a year ago with his 70 tackles. He was named the winner of the Sun Devils' Ron Pritchard Linebacker of the Year award. And check this out. He is the first sophomore in the history of Arizona State football ever to be named a team captain. Please welcome from Harbor City, California, Darian Butler. Darian, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing great. How do you feel when you hear that? Think about it. You're a captain, and the man that Coach Edwards calls Captain America, true freshman Ethan Long, for crying out loud, was named one of the 5 captains. But talk about yourself. How does it make you feel to be the first sophomore in the history of this program to be named the team captain?
I just want to say I'm blessed, to be honest. I think I give everything to God. I thank Coach G, all the defense coaches, Coach Herm, all the coaches really who just trusted me and believing in me, believing that I could lead this team and this defense. So that's something that's big for me and my family. So.
What will your style of leadership be as a captain, Darian?
I just got to lead by the right example. Set a good example. Let everybody know, freshmen and everyone know that we play with a high standard, so everybody live up to that standard. So.
Kobe, how about yourself? I know you're a soft-spoken fellow, but how will you lead on the field and lead this team this year?
By example is one of the biggest things we do around here, just lead them by example, because everybody's watching you at every moment, just to feed off you and just see how you adapt to everything around you. But I'm working on being more vocal every day at practice, just being that leader that the team needs and the defense needs most importantly, and that's what I've been working on since we've been started lifting.
Yeah.
And Coach Joe told me right when I came in with first workouts. But everybody needs a leader, and this team is And there's a great team around us that we need leaders to step up, like me, Black, and all these guys that's not even like got the title of a leader need to step up. Kyle Williams and Merlin Robertson.
You don't really need the title captain to lead, do you?
No, you don't. Everybody needs to lead at every given moment. You never know in the game when anybody could lead. A freshman can come in and lead. It's like Captain America coming up.
Isn't that something?
He's been working since he came in. He's been this dude that if you see at practice, he's not really a freshman. If you watch his game, he's not really a freshman.
Yeah.
It's like Jaden Daniels. These guys are just extraordinary players that you're going to see Thursday.
Darian, both of you guys, your face lit up when Captain America's name was mentioned. What is it about Ethan Long that you find to be really special for a guy his youth?
He's a guy who's all about the team. He's like, he just want to win. He just want to help the team. Coach Herm stresses that a lot. With, having guys on the team who's all about the team, who has a team first mindset. So he's one of those guys. So I feel like he really deserves that.
He sure did. He came here as a quarterback, but very willingly said, "Hey, if I'm not going to play quarterback, just put." Like the song title, put me in, coach. Right. And he's going to be a slot receiver and fill a lot of roles on this football team. And again, to put in perspective about Ethan and Darian, prior to this year, no ASU player had ever been elected a team captain that hadn't been in the program at least 3 years. So I think this says something about really, Darian. It says a lot about Coach Edwards, what he said all along. If you can play, you'll play no matter your years. Case in point, you and Merlin Robertson came in and started as true freshmen.
Exactly.
A year ago.
That was big for me and my family. I really appreciate him a lot. It was something that surprised me a lot, to be honest. I expected to do it. It's something I came in planning on doing, but for it to actually happen, it was a blessing.
All right, now you've had a year in the program, Darian. You must feel a whole lot more. I have to imagine a year ago at this time your head must have been swimming, wondering what that first taste of college football was going to be like. What's the difference in your personal feeling this year as opposed to last year?
I'm a lot more comfortable. I feel like when I go out there and I got the guy, when I'm on the field with my teammates, I can look to the left and right and not worry. Like I feel like I have a lot of trust and our chemistry is pretty tight. But defense is like magic, but I say his playbook is magic. You know, when we fly around fast and we all playing 100 miles per hour, I feel like it would be great.
Kobe, you've had a year now in Coach G's defense, the 3-3-5 scheme he brought with him from San Diego State. Talk about what you think are the best parts of that defense and one that makes it challenging for opposing offenses.
Like you just said, it's very challenging for them. Like we don't notice it every day, but we got guys that tell us after we play how hard it was to move the ball on us, how hard it was to score on us and everything like that. But last year, we were just getting our feet wet with the defense. We were just coming in with a great coach like Coach G coming in, showing us great defense. We were just now getting our feet wet. So it was just about doing your job and just learning the defense, how to do it in many different forms and running to the ball. Now we just find many different ways to disguise it, many different ways to play with it to make the defense even better.
And you can bring pressure from lots of different places. And Kobe, if I'm not mistaken, I think the one thing that Coach G preaches to everybody, run to the football, run hard on every play, right?
Most definitely. It's right. And you've seen it. You've seen a great example of it this weekend with the Hawaii player running to the ball. And me and Darren was sitting at my house watching it, and we knew it. We said, Coach G is going to talk about this one right here.
Yeah.
We know it. But this is a great player effort that you never know. Like you could save the game at any time, and that play could be a difference maker.
That defensive lineman thought he was going to sack Khalil Tate, didn't get him, and yet didn't give up on the play. And because he did, it probably saved the ball game for him. But he chased him down and got him a yard from the end zone. Huh?
Yeah, it most definitely did. And you could just tell every step that he took, that was his goal.
Yep. Talk about you, Darian, and Merlin Robertson coming in together. And what a year Merlin had. The Pac-12 Defensive Freshman of the Year a season ago. The Sun Devils' leading tackler and leader in tackles for loss. How are you in the linebacking core shaping up this year, in your opinion?
Guys like Merlin and Kalen, Kyle Sully, Tyler Johnson, I look up to all those guys. Excuse me. I look up to all those guys. I'm very comfortable with all of them. When we're on the field, I feel like we build a chemistry and a bond outside of football and on the field. So we set up film sessions. We set up times to go out and eat. So I feel like when we're on the field, it's like our bond. We don't have to talk as much. We could just give a signal. We know exactly what to do.
What, in your opinion, makes Merlin such a good player? How was he able to come in and be such an impact guy in his first year at Arizona State, like you were?
He is very consistent. Merlin is like always, this is one of those guys who's like always in the right spot. You know, he doesn't panic when things get out of hand. He plays fast. He's physical. He's a guy who's like, you want to be on the field with you.
Kobe, it wasn't long ago that the ASU secondary was considered to be a weak link on this defense. As you enter the 2019 season, a lot of people, and I think your coaches would probably say as well, look at the back end as a potential strength. Size up the secondary from your perspective.
Most definitely, just a lot of guys that's confident in their abilities. So the guys that we talk about it all the time, just being this dominant secondary that we want to be. And we got so much experience now there, and we got these young guys that's stepping up, and you said that practice stepping up to making big plays that we need them to make. But it's just our mindset of switch. It's our mindset of just being the top Pac-12 secondary out there and just being one of the top in the nation. And we got to work every day at it, and Coach G hold us accountable every day to it, and Coach Herm with the drills he do, he makes us better every single day, and we just improving every day.
Of course, Coach Herm was an outstanding defensive back in the National Football League, a good man to listen to. Darian, we talk about Darian and Merlin a lot. Kobe, with you and Chase Lucas. It's not often a program will have 3-year starters at each cornerback position. What do you two bring to the defense, do you think?
Just two guys that just wants the game on their shoulders. We take it every single day. I tell them every single day in the hotel that if we have a great game, we win easily. But that's just us stepping up to the point every single day, and we hold ourselves so much accountable for our defense. And that's what we work every single day, what we want to do, and just be great.
And what does it mean for a defense when you have two corners that can lock down those opposing wide receivers like you guys can?
It makes everything easier for D Black and Merlin, all these guys. It makes everything easier. Coach G tell us all the time, if we lock up, if our secondary lock up, he could do so many tricks and trades that make the offense so confused that it'd be a ball game that we want.
Yeah. Now, Kobe is one of 7 Sun Devils who come from Long Beach Poly High School, the Jackrabbits of Long Beach Poly. There's no truth to the rumor that Arizona State's name is going to be changed to Long Beach Poly East. But Kobe, I think at the Tempe Chamber kickoff luncheon the other day, you were trying by memory to name your 6 fellow Jackrabbits. Can you do that now under the pressure of all these eyes and Facebook Live looking at you? I've got a cheat sheet here if you need it, but
I think I can.
Okay, go for it, bud.
Elijah Juarez, Shari Crosswell, Jermaine Lole, me. Who we got? Okay.
The twins?
The Markham twins.
Kiwan and Keon, by the way.
Kiwan and Kiwan.
Okay.
We got, let me think.
Jack Jones. Talk about Jack Jones, the former USC Trojan, late arrival, joined the team in mid-August, a former starting cornerback at USC, a former 5-star recruit. What does he bring to your group?
Me and Jack are just family, man. We came back. It was such an honor to be back together. But this guy is just a pure athleticism, man. He's just a ball hawk. He's just that guy that, and the hype wasn't fake when he was in high school, man. This guy's a baller. And he just gets his groove back right now, just coming in and getting part of the defense. This guy's will be unstoppable. And then just contribute to me and Chase. That's just our secondary that we want. That's our guys that we want around us to contribute. And you could just tell when I talk to him every day, his mindset is just like ours. He talks about Pac-12. He talks about the Rose Bowl every single day. That fits in just like us. What we want to do, our big dreams, how we want to be. We just want to make those days reality. They're coming.
Absolutely. And have you set a goal? I think you have as a defense on how many passes you'd like to pick off this year, haven't you?
Most definitely. Coach G told us, man. He said I just walked in there and put a big thing on you guys, man. 20 interceptions. But we like, that's what we want. That's what we want. That's what we've been working for. That's what we talk about every day. So 20 interceptions and even more than that, that's what we could do. That's what we hold ourselves accountable for.
Now, for some perspective, there were only a handful of teams in the country last year that managed 20 interceptions. But you guys think you can do it, don't you?
Most definitely. With our defense that we have and our defense, we work at it every day. And we just see all the ins and outs that we could do. And we see all the things that we mess up on, all the mistakes. And we capitalize on those mistakes as we do. We could capitalize on making plays that we need our defense to make.
And, Darian, I think the overall defense, you want to take the ball away more often by any means, don't you?
Of course. I like getting 3 and outs. We need to get off the field, get our offense, get the balls in their hands.
Darian, give me your scouting report on Kent State, an opponent that wants to play at a very fast-paced, up-tempo, spread offense. They average something like 70, 75 plays per ball game. What are your thoughts on this opener coming up on Thursday?
They got a quarterback coming back, pretty big guy who likes to run the ball. We want to get him to throw it. So I feel like we stopped the run game. He'll throw the ball a lot more. Got to get to the quarterback. Coach G loves applying pressure. He loves to blitz. So that fits my game and all the other linebackers. You got D linemen who like to apply pressure. I feel like with the way we prepared this week and what Coach G has installed, I feel like we should be really successful. We shouldn't have our DBs covering for a long time. What their pressure will bring. So I think it'll be good.
Kobe, I can't imagine how excited you are to get the season started. Your final season at Arizona State, does it seem possible?
Man, I can't wait. I talk about it every day. Everybody asks me, how long is it to Thursday? I was just like, man, I don't know. I can't wait. I'm just counting down the days every single day to be with this defense, and we can't wait just to have so much fun together from our last year. That's why we got so much big dreams, and I'm surprised that these guys just talks about me being a senior and all this, and the captain and all this type of things. But I just want to go to the Rose Bowl with these guys from my last year.
Wouldn't that be something?
That'd be crazy.
In your hometown, both of you. That would be so awesome. Great young men, wouldn't you agree, folks? Defensive co-captains, Darian Butler, Kobe Williams. Fellas, thanks for joining us tonight. Great job on the show. Even a devil needs time to chill. 21 means 21. Celebrate responsibly with Coors Light. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Up next, you'll meet the mastermind of that Sun Devil defense as second-year coordinator Danny Gonzalez joins us. You're listening to All Aboard with Herm Edwards, presented by Coors Light, broadcasting live from the Lodge Sasquatch Kitchen in Tempe. Now this time out on the Sun Devil Radio Network.
At Gila River Hotels and Casinos, feed your unique appetite at more than 25 bars, lounges, and restaurants. Get close to heaven with a churro from George Lopez's Shingon Kitchen. Add extra turf to your surf and turf at Shula's Steakhouse. At Kicker's Poker Lounge, enjoy the smoky flavor of a fine whiskey through the elaborate curves of a twisty straw. At Gila River Hotels and Casinos, Wild Horse Pass, Lone Butte, and Bequiva, your best life is waiting.
It's the perfect time and temperature to celebrate football. Find Stella Rosa wines at Sun Devil Stadium. Global retailer. The excitement at game time feels as refreshing and delicious as Stella Rosa wines. Proud partners of your Arizona Sun Devils.
Hey, this is Jared Allen. I want to invite you to come meet my former head coach, Herm Edwards, at the Lodge Sasquatch Kitchen every Thursday night when he hosts his radio show All Aboard. Come check out the comfort of my Midwest Lodge right in the middle of downtown Tempe with huge patio and game room and plenty of TVs around to watch all your favorite sports teams. You'll have a great time. Our award-winning food is awesome, and there are always drink specials for everyone. So come check us out for lunch, happy hour, dinner, or even those late nights when you want to just relax with some friends. Who knows, you might even see us our sponsor too. Raymond James Associates. The financial well-being of our clients always comes first.
Commit our energies, intellect, and knowledge to providing the highest level of service and delivering high-quality investment alternatives to help you attain your objectives. To find out more, visit our Raymond James Tempe branch website at rjatempe.com or call 480-377-2000 and ask about our pledge to you. Raymond James & Associates, member New York Stock Exchange, SIPC. Life well planned.
You can feel it even before a game starts. The energy, the anticipation. Whether it's shaking your keys before kickoff or throwing forks up after a big play, nothing beats being there live for ASU games. Sun Devils fans, Ticketmaster is the source for verified seats to all your favorite sporting events, from football to basketball and everything in between. Wear your maroon and gold with pride and score Arizona State tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Go Devils!
When you're ordering groceries,
30 seconds.
You want the freshest, most delicious choices around. Whether it's for a quick and easy weekday meal or a sensational Sunday celebration. At Fry's, we get you, and we've got that. And now you can get home delivery in as little as 1 hour or enjoy same-day pickup at the store. Either way,
10 seconds.
Coach, we get a check on that, Mark?
You
good? That sounds good to me.
Today
Awesome.
on the Fry's app or at friesfood.com.
How about your ears, all
Fresh
right?
food,
Good.
Famous low prices at Fry's.
This is All Aboard, presented by Coors Light. Third quarter.
New this season, we will be airing All Aboard, presented by Coors Light, on Facebook Live. For our fans that can't make it out to the Lodge Sasquatch Kitchen, you can check out the live stream on the show on the Sun Devil Football Facebook page. That is really, really cool. Glad to have our Facebook viewers on board with us here this evening as we continue with tonight's show, coming your way live from the Lodge Sasquatch Kitchen at First and Farmer in Tempe. I'm Tim Healy, your host, and in this segment, we spotlight one of the members of Herm Edwards' football staff at Arizona State. And our guest tonight is in his second season as ASU's defensive coordinator. What a great job he and his staff did last year. The Sun Devils defense showed significant improvement over the course of the season in their new 3-3-5 scheme. I know he's looking for bigger and better things this year. He's a great coach, but he's a better person, and it's my pleasure to welcome Coach Danny Gonzalez to the show. Danny, good to see you, partner.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
And great to have you. And I just want to give you some kudos to start off. I really admire and appreciate the way you coach on this Sun Devil defense. I tried to come up with a catchy phrase, and to me, what sums you up is I think you're demanding without being demeaning of your players. And I think you are realistic, but also reinforcing with your players. I'm wondering, to whom do you owe a lot of your success, or who were your major coaching influences when you were coming up?
Well, I mean, first, from a very young age, my dad was, he taught me how to communicate with people. I mean, he never yelled at me growing up, but he was talking that I needed to listen, and he got the point across.
Well, it's a great way to be, isn't it?
Yes, it's awesome. And then I was very spoiled in my coaching career. Coach Long at San Diego State, I was with him for 20 years, and he was a great mentor. He took care of me. Along that journey, though, I was able to play for Gary Patterson, the head coach of TCU. He was our defensive coordinator when I played at New Mexico. Bronco Mendenhall,
wow.
I played for my senior year, and then I was also a GA for him for 2 years before he left to BYU. And then the last year that I've had with Coach Edwards, I mean, you don't have a better coaching tree than that. I'm very proud of it. I'm spoiled. This business, you move around a lot, and I've been very spoiled in that way. So we want to make Tempe our home for a long time.
Well, we sure hope you do, because we love having you and your family here and as part of the ASU family. And now you're getting into year 2. Size up how you feel your defense has progressed through fall camp as you get ready to take the field Thursday.
You know, they're getting grumpy running into the same guys every day on teammates. So yeah. I'm excited to see them finally play against somebody else. I mean, the two gentlemen that we had up here, our two defensive captains, did a phenomenal job. You're only a good coach if you have great players, and it doesn't matter how good of a coach you are if they can't play. And we've got a bunch of good players on our roster. We're young, but we've got an opportunity because of those guys and the way that they show up to work every day. It gives you a chance, and it makes it fun. I mean, we love coming to work every day to be around those guys.
Defensive line in the spring, I think you were starting to wonder if you have enough healthy bodies to conduct your business. But as you enter the season, it looks to me like you've got 7 or 8 guys you can rotate in that D-line.
Right now we're on an 8-man rotation, which a lot of people were asking me during spring when we were practicing with 2 if I was concerned. I was not, because I knew the reinforcements we had coming in.
Yeah.
I knew the guys that were that we had kept out of practice injury-wise. I knew their work ethic and what they were doing. And then what it really gave us an opportunity to do was explore some different packages that, I mean, I love spring ball. I say it all the time. There's no pressure to win games, so you get to do whatever you want. You can beat the kids up a little bit, okay, make them a little tougher, and then you get to invent and play with your scheme a little bit. And so because we were down D lineman, we got to do some linebacker things that we'll have an opportunity to do this season. So it may be a disadvantage at times, but you got to turn everything into glass half full if you want to be successful. So we took that opportunity and did the best we could with it.
Yeah, a young man last year, Jermaine Lole, one of the Long Beach Poly fellas that really came on as a pass rusher. I'm excited to see DJ Davidson coming back from an ankle injury last year at USC. You had a freakish athlete in Rennell Wren, now with the Cincinnati Bengals at the nose. But DJ Davidson is pretty athletic in his own right, isn't he?
We're going to have a hard time replacing Rennell. When you get drafted in the 4th round, you're a pretty special player. DJ, he offers us some things. He's big, just like Rennell was. They're a different type of player. DJ is very athletic. He's very powerful also, like Rennell. I'm really excited. I mean, I thought we had a big drop-off when he got hurt at the USC game just because Rennell had to play so many more plays. And I think I'm big into having guys fresh out there. Right. I mean, you're going to see the musical chairs going on as much as we can rotate with the speed that they're going. And then, like you mentioned, Jermaine Lole. Now, you talked about renaming ASU Long Beach Poly East. There are going to be a lot of people out there fighting, 1958, Prop 200.
That's right.
We want to keep Arizona State University our name. But I love all the Jackrabbits we have out there. I mean, Kobe and the twins and Jack and all those guys, Jermaine and Elijah. I mean, it's exciting to have those guys. Like I said, great players give you an opportunity to be a good coach.
Linebacker, you have some really good players. The young man we met, Darian Butler, Merlin Robertson, were 2 terrific freshmen. Tyler Johnson last year really came on at the end of the season, although he's been coming back from shoulder surgery in the offseason. How's he progressed?
Last 2 weeks, he's made remarkable improvement from where he was. You know, I'm a little bit old school, and he missed a little bit of time during the summer. So I think you have to earn your way back and some of those things. And he's really, give him some credit. He's busted his tail to try to get back involved. And you know, the three freshmen that you talked about last year, they played the most combined snaps of any freshman in the country. And two of them being true, and then Tyler Johnson being a redshirt. I think those guys are very elite linebackers. I mean, I think they're some of the best in this league. And I mean, Merlin, freshman All-American, Pac-12 Defensive Freshman of the Year, and then you have Darian Butler, who speaks volumes for him being named team captain, like you said, the first sophomore in the school history.
Yeah.
Along with Captain America. You know, I think he's going to be a special football player.
Yeah.
Coach talked about it. We got 19 freshmen that are going to play for the first time. We got another 12 redshirt freshmen that are going to be involved that have big roles in our team. So we're young, but they've got a lot of talent. And if we coach them right, I mean, when you see a lot of mistakes in games, that's not the kid's fault. That's the coach's fault. So we've got to keep it simple for them so that they can play fast like Darian and those guys talked about. And if they play fast, we have a chance to be successful.
I think the secondary sums up what you just said. Young, but boy, you got a lot of talent on the back end now.
Tremendous talent. I mean, the neat thing about it, I mean, Ashari and Cam, they have some experience. They played a little bit last year.
Ashari Croswell and Cam Phillips, the two Ranger safeties.
Ashari Croswell, if you watch, and I tell people all the time, you know, Jaden Daniels is going to be a great player. Okay? Jaden Daniels is going to start his first college football game on Thursday night. The speed that he's going to see is going to be different than what he's seen his whole life. Now, he's a special young man that's very composed, and I'm sure he'll handle it great. But we don't need to put pressure on him to go out there and win games. So it's our job to make sure that we give him a chance, give him some short fields with turnovers, help him out. Because here's a perfect example. Ashari Croswell, who you just mentioned, the first 4 games, he struggled last year because of the speed, not because he wasn't good enough. It's just it's the volume of plays and the speed that those guys, they're bigger, they're faster, they're stronger than what you've ever seen. By the last 4 games of the season, he was playing at an elite Pac-12 level.
Yes, he was.
So you're going to see improvement from Jaden from game 1 to the guarantee 12 we have, and hopefully 13, 14, 15. Okay? So if we don't put enough pressure on him, and we don't put too much pressure on him, and we help him out on defense, we got a chance to have a really special quarterback around here.
Yep. And speaking of speed and pace, you're going to see a lot of that with this Kent State team that we're going to play here on Thursday night. They're coming off just a 2-10 season under their first-year head coach, Sean Lewis, youngest head coach in Division I football, by the way, only 33 years old, but has a good background working with Dino Babers at Syracuse, Eastern Illinois, and Bowling Green. But boy, they want to go fast, don't they? About 13 seconds between plays, and they average, I think, 75 snaps a game.
They do. Coach Babers is one of my good friends, and we played them when I was at San Diego State, and he was the head coach at Eastern Illinois, and Coach Lewis was on that staff. They did some really good things. It was the beginning of the spread and the tempo style at that time. So he has some notes on how they attacked us that night. So, you know, I mean, you have to go back through your archives and find out, okay, how are people going to attack you? He does a phenomenal job. He's building a program. They went from their scoring before he got there was one of the lowest 5 in the country. Okay, they did a phenomenal job improving their offense. 8 yards, total yards per game last year than they were the previous year. That's a significant improvement. And they go fast. They're very well coached. I think that's the biggest compliment you can give them. They're a very well coached team. Our guys, if you're watching them, the football people, as soon as the receivers catch balls or they get tackled, they jump up, they run the ball to the referee. They're all looking at the sideline to get lined up. So trying to implement that in practice has been a challenge. And I keep trying to tell our guys, you know, it's going to be a shock how fast they go. If we can execute, we can take that advantage away from them. Now, they're going to land in Tempe, and I love this. I think we have a huge advantage in September. They're going to get off that plane and think they landed in hell. And I hope they feel that way.
You have more of an advantage in August.
That's right. You know, there's a big sign in our stadium. It says, "Abandon hope, all ye who enter here." Well, I hope they read it and believe it.
Yeah, yes, indeed. And it is going to be a bit on the toasty side. They've got a big quarterback, too, Woody Barrett, big for an option or a dual threat guy, 235-pounder.
You know, he's hard to tackle. He was a big-time recruit, went to Auburn out of high school, decided to leave there, went to Lackawanna Junior College, and then ended up at Kent State, was their starter last year, battled for the job, ended up winning it, was very productive at the end of the year, and I think that's another thing, give Coach Lewis credit, because he plays to Woody's talents. He gives them an opportunity with what they do on offense to be very successful. He's got a good arm, and he can put it on the receivers. And then if he doesn't like what he sees, he really causes you some issues with your feet. So we've got to really make sure that we don't run by him. We got to get pressure on him. And I'm really excited with our secondary because I think we can cover some guys back there. So I tell him all the time, and I heard Darian say this, that there's some magic within our scheme. There ain't no magic. The magic is sitting right out there in the stands, those two you were talking to. That's the magic. The players are the magic.
Absolutely.
All we do is give them a chance. And so I'm excited to see what they can do.
Great insights from a good man and a great football coach, Danny Gonzalez. Thanks, Danny. Good to see you,
guys.
partner.
Thank you for having me.
You betcha.
Devils.
Even a devil needs time to chill. 21 means 21. Celebrate responsibly with Coors Light, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Herm rejoins me as we wind down tonight's show after this here on the Sun Devil Radio Network.
Make sure to stay updated on all the action. All the time. With content from all 7 Pac-12 Network's channels on Pac-12 Now, where you can access live events.
All right, Cody, I've got 7:49:48.
I have that as well.
Okay, so we will have.
Wherever you are, and
Do another one. Go ahead, Tim.
all the teams and all the access, all with Pac-12 Now.
All right, folks.
Temperature to celebrate football. Find Stella Rosa.
Yeah, they can hear you, Tim.
Okay. Our second raffle prize of the night is a football autograph by Coach Herm Edwards. And the football will go to somebody. Tom Herr.
Where's Tom?
Tom Herr.
I think we see in the back. I think Tom's running up.
Okay. Shoot up a flare. Okay.
Plenty of TVs around to watch.
There you
all
go.
your favorite
Congratulations.
sports teams. You'll have a great
All
time.
right, Cody, how long do we
Our
have?
award-winning food is awesome, and there are always drink specials for everyone.
About 90 seconds.
Happy
Seriously?
hour dinner, or even
Oh, no,
those late
90
nights
seconds
when you
till we
wanna
get
just
back.
relax with some
Oh.
friends.
Yeah, Tim.
Might even see a Sasquatch or two.
So we're going to have about
Feel that?
3-ish.
That's your wild trying to get
About
out.
3 minutes.
Just for a little while.
Welcome back and good night.
For too long, it's time to let your soul out for some air. Feed your unique appetite for fun. Weekdays, weeknights, weekends, it doesn't matter. As long as you finally do things your way. At Gila River Hotels and Casinos, Wild Horse Pass,
About
Lone
3.5
Butte,
to
and
music,
Vicuña,
Tim.
we keep
4-ish.
just your kind of
3.5
excitement
to
on
music.
Yeah, and then
tap.
4-ish.
Your best life is waiting. So you, do you.
You're committed to the Sun Devils. You're a season ticket holder, and you never miss the Sun Devil Walk. That's why you need MidFirst Bank's ASU debit and credit cards, so you can show your Sun Devil pride every day. Plus, a portion of every purchase made with your MidFirst Bank ASU debit and credit cards goes to support the university. Visit midfirst.com/ASU for details. MidFirst Bank, true to your money.
All right, 30 seconds here.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Kick off the 2019 football season. Fill up your coolers,
He's
pack
not
up
the
your
best
tailgate
producer in the
supplies,
business
and
for
ready
nothing.
your lucky maroon and gold gear.
Cody
The
Fincher,
7-game
ladies and gentlemen. Cody
2019
Fincher.
home schedule kicks off Thursday,
A great
August
producer
29th versus
and a
Kent
great
State.
American.
Secure your seats for the season opener for just
That's going to be on my tombstone.
It should be,
Packages
man.
are also available for homestands at
10 seconds.
Washington
All right,
State,
there we go. I'm turning my mic off.
Carve it on there
Purchase your
myself.
tickets
There we
today
go.
by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
The fourth quarter is next on All Aboard with Sun Devil head football coach Herm Edwards.
Even a devil needs time to chill. 21 means 21. Celebrate responsibly with Coors Light, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Say fans, new this season, you can keep up with our play-by-play team on Twitter and Instagram by following @SunDevilPBP for play-by-play. @SunDevilPBP. Follow us. Good stuff will be forthcoming in the days and weeks to come. Herm, as we wind down the show tonight, I think you made mention of this the other day at your press conference. Your guys, I know, are going to be really excited to play, but so are the Kent State kids. This is a big deal for them. Is it a challenge to make sure that your team matches their level in terms of the intangibles?
It really is, and they come in. They're trying to build a program, and Danny mentioned it earlier. The coaches have done a great job with these guys, and they have nothing to lose. I mean, they're going to come on the road, and we saw them play Illinois on the road last year, and they were beating Illinois at halftime. They were up 17-13. So they're well aware of the atmosphere here. This would be a big win for them, to set their program in a direction that they want to head. So we got to be aware of that.
And for a coach, I would imagine an opening game is like Forrest Gump's box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
No, you don't. And the thing you don't want is sloppy football. You watch the Miami-Florida game. They're 28 fouls for 280 yards. That's just penalties.
Yeah.
And then they turned the ball over. There's probably 10 turnovers in that game. 20 missed tackles.
All the turnovers in the Arizona-Hawaii game, too.
Yeah, it's just, you don't want sloppy. But here again, in college football, you don't play preseason games. So they count. And so you don't want to lose games by errors and just sloppiness and, delay of games and all these things that happen when you watch it. It's no one's fault because it's just the first game and you got all these new players and they're trying to do all these things and you got to calm down and keep your poise.
Doesn't sound like that'll be a problem, though, for Jaden Daniels, as you talked about.
No, he's pretty calm. That's what I like about the guy. He's similar demeanor. Kind of similar demeanor. So it'll be fun to talk to him after every series. He'll come off, and I'll always go visit with him and make sure he's okay. And we'll talk to Coach Likas up in the box and make sure we're doing things that he likes. That's important. Give him some things offensively that he feels comfortable doing. That's what you got to do for the guy.
What do you think, like if it's a 3rd and 6, what kind of throw do you think he would be most comfortable making in a situation like that to convert a big first down?
Well, he's talented enough to make the tight window throw inside. He's not afraid to throw the ball inside. Has a good enough arm we can throw the out ball. He throws the out ball really good. I mean, he can just set it and put it on the spot, and he's a talented young man. Like here again, he's a freshman, and everyone's thinking, "Whoa, this guy's going to take us." Maybe eventually, but we don't have to do it the first game. Just let's let him grow up and learn how to play.
And it helps to have a veteran-laden team around him on offense, and that's
it does. I got one announcement because I know we're going. My daughter Vivian's birthday is tonight. Vivian, stand up. She's going to be 13 years old. Happy birthday, Vivian.
Happy birthday, my dear.
Okay,
standing ovation for Vivian.
Yeah,
big-time stuff. Awesome. Happy birthday to her.
Right.
Join us for our radio coverage of the season opener. Starts at 5 o'clock. Jeff Munn, Jordan Simone, and the Sun Devil Tailgate Show. Kickoff around 7. Jeff Van Raphorst back with us once again this year. Thanks to our great engineer-producer, Sean Crespin, for his help tonight. Thanks as well to Senior Associate Athletic Director for Football, Tim Cassidy, and Cody Fincher of the Sun Devil Radio Network for their help. And to the folks at the Lodge Sasquatch Kitchen, a big thank you. Good luck, Herm.
Thank you, my friend. Thanks for all the fans coming out. We appreciate it.
And we'll see you next Tuesday night at 7 for Coach Herm Edwards. I'm Tim Healy. Thanks for listening. So long, everybody.
At Gila River
Nailed
Hotels
the
and
post.
feed your
Posted it.
unique appetite at more than 25 bars, lounges, and restaurants.
All right, Cody.
Get close
Good talking
to
with you
heaven
again, my
with
friend.
a
I'll talk to you
George
on
Lopez's
Thursday.
Cinnabon
All right, sounds good, guys.
See you, brother.
See ya.
At Shoeless.